Hello, and welcome to another edition of In Session with Thomas and Tara Suber. I like to say Suber because it separates us from any other TNT that may be out there.
There's another TNT out there.
God, I hope not. God, I hope not.
Okay, Thomas and Tara.
Mhm.
Another edition of In Session. Two things. One, we'd like to thank everyone that has reached
Yes.
out to us.
Amazing feedback. You
Yes,
guys, oh, y'all loved on us so much. I know. Thank you. Thank you. I don't care if you were just being nice. You probably didn't even mean it. I'm just kidding. But y'all, it's just overwhelming the amount of positive response that we've received back from the community. Thank you. And keep those suggestions coming in. Make sure you like the page Supersonic U. Message us. There's a box where you can hit message and it'll come directly to us, or you can email us at supersonicu@yahoo.com, and you can give us topics that you may be interested in us covering. Did I say supersonic or super? I feel like I'm saying super because I feel super.
Supersonic.
Hey, you know that? Oh, I'm doing the butterfly.
One hit wonder. Let me stop. That ain't right.
Oh, boy, I
Going
was
back
doing.
to my
Did
high
you see my
school
leg?
years.
Did you see my leg? I was doing the butterfly.
I'm not supposed to be looking at your legs
Oh my gosh, really?
on,
You supposed to be looking at
on
me.
internet communications or radio. I'll stop that.
Boy, you my husband. You can look at me. It's all good.
But
But
just to add to what Tara just said, like, share, comment. Being that we're
yeah,
doing this via Facebook.
yeah.
Facebook today, and it's going to be something else tomorrow.
Thank you, Lord.
To the moon. I mean, so thank God we're just getting started, and we're just moving with what we felt as though it was time for us to do. And I'm excited about our next session.
I got my church fan again, y'all, because I'm getting up. So
Yeah,
if you hear some wind in my microphone, it's because I'm fanning.
she's having that private summer,
I am my personal summer.
and that's going to be another show topic.
Oh my gosh! Hey, let's talk about it. Let's talk about what are we going to talk about today? What are we going to talk about today?
Is the church being taken seriously or being mocked? That's the question.
Mockery in the church. Mockery of the church.
Of the church.
Ooh, Thomas, that's a. Oh, I was about to say that's a hot one, Thomas. That's a serious question. That is a serious question. So it's obvious that we're dealing with faith today. We're dealing with faith today. So
Yes.
I was just, surfing social media. There's so many different outlets that you can surf. And it seems as though that there's so many videos out there. You can tell the difference between people just having fun, and that's okay. I love it.
Right.
Entertainment
Right.
is out there, and you gotta laugh sometimes.
Right.
You just can't go around looking like you're sucking on lemons all day and nothing moves you. You don't have feelings or emotion. I love to laugh, and there are certain people I follow, comedians on social media, because I love to laugh. But a lot of mockery is being made of the church.
Right.
And I'm not necessarily, I don't want you to get it twisted. No, I'm not coming at comedians that use different things that happen in the church and make fun of it, because we are funny people.
Mhm.
I'm talking about people, real videos,
And sometimes funny things happen during the church service.
and some stuff be happening. That be having your head spinning like, did that really just happen in the church?
In the church, yeah.
And that's what we're presenting out there, because I heard somebody say, and somebody posted this, it may have been, I'm not going to call names. I think I know exactly who. It was a pastor that posted this on Facebook. And it said that, remember, everything that you post on social media, it's like your resume. So be
It sure
careful
is.
what you post on social media. And I say that to say, what you post, some people, when we're in church, you go live.
Mm-hmm.
We don't think about it. We go live because we think, okay, we want to share what we're getting with the world. And sometimes stuff happen that the
Right.
world's not ready for. Remember, Kimberell? And that's another topic for another day.
That
That was
is.
done in a service,
In her
in
church
in
service,
her
yes.
church
Mhm.
service.
Yeah.
and that was directed at her people. They weren't streaming that service.
Right. Right.
The church, see, they weren't streaming their service.
Mm-hmm.
So they weren't putting it out there for everybody, but somebody was going live
Mm-hmm.
and they put that out there. And that put her in a real awkward position because, see, the world ain't ready for everything the church got to say.
That's true.
They're not.
That is true.
They
And you know what I'd like to do, Tara, real quick before we get started, because our first show we gave a little bit of history about ourselves, but let's give a little history about ourselves as it results to church, just so we let people
okay.
know.
Okay.
Look, we're not a novice to this.
Okay.
And I'll start with myself. I'm 44 years old. Was raised up.
I'm not going to tell people how I am now. You can go ahead with
They
that.
don't have to.
They already know.
She was having her own private summer, so they can guess about how
I'm
old you
just
are.
kidding.
I'll leave that
46.
alone. You're what? Say that again.
I'm 46.
Right.
Yes.
You are.
Yes.
I'm 44 years old, and I've been raised in the church all my life. And what I like about Tara and I is that we came from, even though both of us have been raised in the church, we came from two different backgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
I was raised up in the Pentecostal church. Some would call it Pentecostal, some would call it Holiness Church.
Mm-hmm.
For the first quarter of my life,
Mm-hmm.
up until when I was in Philadelphia, I was raised up in the Pentecostal church. We spent 2 years in D.C., still in Holiness. Came here to South Carolina, was still in Holiness until we went to joined a non-denominational church.
Mm-hmm.
So I've seen a lot. I've seen them come and go. But what's so funny is even through this and as a result of this, and because I'm a musician, I was exposed to a lot
Mm-hmm.
and was employed by different churches.
That's
so
true.
I've played for a Baptist church.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a missionary Baptist church. Let's get it right. I played for a missionary Baptist church.
Hey, you got to fix it because it's different. It's different.
Right, it is. I was employed as a musician by an AME church, very
Mhm.
prominent AME
Mhm.
church.
Even PAW.
Yeah, you're right, babe. And
PAW.
that's an apostolic church.
Mhm.
Again, that falls under a holiness church or a Pentecostal church.
Mhm.
Well, that would fall under Pentecostal.
Mm-hmm.
I played for a PAW church for 2.5 years. And I've seen, let's just say between the two of us, we've seen just about it all. We have.
Yeah. I a little girl, my family came up in an AME church, a pretty prominent AME church in
Right.
Mount Pleasant. And when my parents decided, I think my mom was at the AME church, my dad was at the Baptist church, and at some point we transitioned to the missionary Baptist church with my father
Mhm.
when he began to work in ministry there. And from there, I went to a non-denominational church where we are today.
Where we are today. Right.
So,
Mhm.
yeah, I seen the AME, I seen the missionary Baptist,
Mhm.
and non-denominational. But as you traveled and as you were employed by different churches, I was exposed to that as well. Oh, I can't forget. I when we got married, I went to the Holiness Church, the Pentecostal church,
Mhm.
because I went with you.
Right.
And we served together in ministry.
Right,
And
right,
then
right.
now the non-denominational church. And they all basically, there's something different in each one. We all serve the same God,
Mhm.
but the way things are orchestrated in the church is just totally different. It's
Right.
totally different.
And one thing Tara and I have noticed over the years, and we are going to jump back into, is the church being taken seriously or being
Mhm.
mocked? One, the respect level that used to be for the church.
You'll make me pass out, Thomas.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
And the respect level for the men and women of God.
Don't make me pass out. Let me tell you, I am a fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I've always been a fighter. I've never been a weak link.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just my personality. That's just who I am. If I believe strongly in something, I'm going to fight for what I strongly believe in. And so when it came to my leaders, my whole thing is, as long as you continue to follow God,
Mm-hmm.
I will follow you, and I will defend my leaders, and I will cover my leaders. That's the least I can do it's just a respect. I cover so you come after my pastor. I mean, my apostle always teased me. He said, "You don't mess with T Super because she got a box cutter, but I'll cut you. Not so much. I ain't gonna physically cut you. I don't want to go to jail or nothing. See, I defend leadership because I respect the man and the women of God that serve in ministry. And I think that comes from the fact, Thomas, that you and I both are pastors' kids.
Hmm.
We not only grew up in the church, but we grew up in the church under parents that worked as pastors and served as pastors. So that even brings on another whole level of respect that we have because we've
Right.
been on that side where we see how our parents were treated in leadership.
Hmm.
So, whoever we serve under, we're going to defend them just as though, like we did our parents in leadership. But I just have another level of respect for my pastors, man. As long as you're following God, the Lord has led me to the ministry where I'm in. And as long as you're following God, and I'm following you, and I'm going to defend my ministry, and I'm going to defend the man and woman of God.
Right.
Hands down, no question. No question.
And just to add to what you just said, I remember some time ago we was in the car and we used to talk about, again, we used to talk about the church and how people used to, respect the church. If a person was walking past the church and was having a certain kind of conversation, they would
Hey,
either
hey, hey.
change
Shh,
the
shh.
conversation,
Yeah. Be quiet, man. We passing
or
the church.
or not talk at all
Oh,
while they
yeah.
passing the church, and then
Or
carrying
Reb.
their, yeah,
Or if Reb drove
if
by.
they drove by or walked
Oh, the
by, or if you
corner.
walked by them,
Reb, oh, you throw your cigarette or your bottle
you
behind
hide
you.
it,
Hide
yeah.
it. How you doing, Reb? Good to see you, Reb. It
Hmm.
was just. I mean, it didn't change the fact of what you was doing. You was still. I mean, you doing your thing. You smoking, you drinking, whatever. It didn't change that. But for the moment
Right.
that you thought that a man or woman of God, someone that you held it in high
I
esteem,
understand.
was passing by, you thought, hey, I'm gonna give them this respect, and I'm not gonna be smoking in their face. I'm not gonna be drinking. Man, that's old school.
Right.
People don't do that no
But
more.
people don't do it no
I
more.
don't care.
I watch folks be in their cars and they'll be blasting the music, and when they're riding past the church, they'll just keep it right there. Church folks outside, they'll just keep it right there. And just like you said, when the pastor, whoever he or she may be, if they were to come around or for some reason be around, whether it's a funeral or this or that,
Mm-hmm.
it's just the respect level
Lack
is
of
it's just gone.
respect.
It's gone.
Man, I've heard stories of people coming in the church and having it out, like knocking pastors out, like
Yeah.
armor bearer is just not there to make you feel like, oh, you somebody important. Armor bearers have been placed in the church for a reason. People are just willy nilly out there, like wilding out,
Right.
attacking men and women of God in the church like it's nothing.
Right. Right.
What has happened? What are we doing? We lost our John Brown mind.
Mm-hmm.
What the heck?
Oh Jesus, baby, John Brown.
I would. John
Okay.
Brown.
And so here it is. Now, and I want to ask this question, Tara. I want to ask this to you. Is it more amplified because of social media
Oh yeah.
outlets,
Oh yeah.
or is it just the respect level is just gone, and the church is not being taken seriously anymore and just being mocked? Just everywhere. Like to give you an example, what we was talking about earlier before we even started the show.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, there's a few things that's been on Facebook. There's one that caught my attention. The guy was singing and he started doing Michael Jackson moves
Oh.
while he was singing. I mean, not just like
was-
he did one or two moves. He did the kick.
whole
He did
set.
the moonwalk. He did the scoot that Michael Jackson does
Now,
across the stage. And I was just like, I was trying to figure out.
now, in his defense, I don't know. Was that even a real church service?
Yes, it was.
Or was it?
Let me calm down. Yes,
Calm
it was.
down. I mean, or
'Cause they
was
paying
it?
the
Or was?
audience.
Or
They
was
paying
they?
the audience.
Or was they mocking? They was just doing a play or something. I don't know.
No,
I'm just.
no.
I'm
group-
playing the devil's advocate. Maybe it
group-
was made up.
The group was singing. It
Okay.
was not made up. At
Okay.
all.
Well, I'm just saying when you guys hear this playback to you, just comment on it. We like to know if it was a real church and tag the church so I can figure that out. Because that was ridiculous. That was ridiculous.
It was. And see, again, when I see stuff like this and when we see stuff like this, I'm saying to myself, again, like,
Where do we draw the line?
Where do we draw the line? Exactly. Tara.
Okay,
Where do we draw
so-
the line?
Okay, so comment that we had a conversation we had off mic earlier. I made reference to football.
Mhm.
Everybody loves football. All right. So I'm wanting to know who do we hold accountable at that point? Okay. In a football game, penalty is is a penalty happens. I mean, I'm not okay. I don't know all the right terminology, so don't judge me. But if there's a penalty, a flag is thrown on the play. Very seldom do you see people just keep playing at that point. We stop because maybe the coaches didn't see it. Maybe the other refs didn't see it, but one ref caught it and you threw a flag on the play, right? Am I talking right, babe? If that happens, one ref. Okay, so maybe they have to have a discussion about it. Well, you know what just happened here? Okay, well I didn't really see that, so let's have a playback. Okay, let's replay it. Okay, yeah. There you go. That's the penalty. Okay, so it's substantialized. Okay, we understand why the flag's on the pay. We call the penalty and we make the call whether it's going to be, what do they usually do? So many yards back, or the opposing team gets the ball. Whatever the penalty, they have an equal. What do they do? What do they do, baby? Help me out here.
There's a few things to do, but the three coaches, they'll look at it and then they'll come to a decision.
And then they make a
not the
decision.
three coaches, the three refs will.
They'll make a decision on, okay, according to the penalty, this is how you're going to be judged, and this is what's going to happen to you. Okay, you're going to be yards back. The other team gets the ball. Whatever. At what point in the service, when people are cutting up like that, is there a flag thrown on the play? Who in the world was the leader? Where were they? They just gonna let that happen? Is there nobody around to hold people accountable anymore?
Right.
I know some pastors, man. I know some pastors that's old school. Like, my father-in-law will drag you where you stand. I'm not going to wait until service is out to check you. I'm going to check you where we at. Because if I continue to let you carry on like that and make mockery of the church in the church, and you know I'm the leader, how does that make me look? No, I'm going to pull your butt down where you stand and shame you, because you shaming me and you shaming God. So we going to stop that. I mean, my father-in-law did not play. He just did not. Shout out to my father-in-law. You know who you is. I mean, it's just some things you just don't play with. And I'm not only talking about that. People don't even respect the fact that regardless, if nobody's there to see you, I mean, God sees all.
He sees it.
So let's start. I mean, you can start there. God sees everything. And so everything you do when you're serving in ministry, and I always say that, I serve in ministry, my husband serves in ministry, and let me tell you, and I think I may have said this in the last show, if I was doing it for the people, I'd be way gone, get in my car, and I speed off so fast, I'll spit the rocks up under my tire in the church yard and squeal. But I'm not doing it for man.
Right.
Everything that I do in my service, I do as I do it unto God. I do it for him, nobody else. So what are you really serving for? You cutting up and acting a fool? I can't. I'm done. I'm off my box.
And I guess another thing that I think about, and another thing that concerns me, is how the world, or how people outside of the church, how they view us, if this is what we do and this is how we do. That's been the thing that have always concerned me.
Yeah.
Is how because if we're supposed to be that beacon of light, or we're supposed to be that example, if we're supposed to be that city that sits up on a hill that can't be hid, if we're not shining the right light, then what kind of effect are we having on everybody? And so then if we're making a mockery of things in the church, and then the people, that gives them the right to mock us, or say, well, there's no standards because this is what they're doing in church, and this is what I see, and there's no difference. There's no, there should be a difference. And just to give you a scripture reference, I'm not trying to have a Bible study or nothing like that.
Baby, you ain't gotta say that.
I know I ain't gotta say it.
I love you. Go ahead. Let's
Peter,
keep it word.
True.
Keep it, baby.
1 Peter, the 2nd chapter, verse 9 says, "But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a peculiar people." Now, when it says peculiar people, it means different. It means set aside, that ye should show forth the praises of him who hath called you out of darkness into his marvelous light. If we're supposed to be that peculiar people, that holy nation, that chosen generation, but people look at us and laugh, or look at us and just can't tell, just look at us, and again, just like my wife said earlier, we realize both of us been raised in church, and funny things do happen.
Lord help
Some
me.
funny things.
Let me
just do
tell
happen.
you.
Funny
And,
things happen.
and if it happened in front of me, I'm laughing. I'm laughing. I can't hold it. I tried many years.
Funny things. Yes,
Well,
funny.
look.
And I'm at the point in my age, I laugh.
What?
I laugh.
I never forgot that Sunday when I went down the aisle, and I'm just gonna say, home plate is where I was aiming for, and some people saw me before they fell out and laughed.
I wasn't at church.
You wasn't at church, even Pastor leaned across the pulpit. I was like, you know what? But it was funny.
That was
But I'm
funny.
not talking about that. I'm talking about people just boldly making mockery. Like, for
There you
real?
go. Right. Exactly.
For real?
Exactly.
There is no reverence.
No reverence. There you go. That's it.
There is no reverence for the house. There's no reverence for the man and women of God. There's no reverence for God anymore. What?
And even the laity, the people of God. No
Yeah.
reverence for them.
No.
No reverence for them.
So, you know that song? What's the name of that movie? Oh, it's called A Thin Line Between Love. It's a thin line. It's a very thin line, and it shouldn't be.
Right.
The line should be bold, and the line should intentionally mark the spot where. What are you saying, babe?
I'm just making sure it's still recording.
Yeah, I'm watching it.
Okay.
Oh my God.
See, we can have fun like this.
No, we ain't having fun. You threw me off on a technicality. Man, flag on the play. Flag on the play.
Yeah, but babe, there should be a line.
And it shouldn't be that thin.
Right.
It shouldn't be thin. Come on now. Come on now. Because how are we drawing those that are of the world, in the world, if we look exactly the same?
Mm-hmm.
If we act exactly the same?
Right.
If there's no reverence and respect? There's no, why would I come? If I wasn't already saved, why would I come?
Right.
Why would I come?
Right.
If this is what I see, if this is what I see, why would I come?
You're right.
Give me a reason to come.
You're right.
Give me a reason to want the God that you serve.
That's why a lot of people stay away.
Give me a reason to desire what you have. There's this song that many, many years ago, I can't remember the guy. I talked about it some weeks ago. It's called "Live in Me, Jesus," and in the song it made references because live in me, Jesus, have your way in me, live in me, Jesus, because I may be the only Jesus that this generation may ever see. So live in me, Jesus, and have your way in me. Are we really? Are we really?
I like that. I forgot about that.
Showing the people of God the Jesus that lives in us. Are we really doing that? Oh, right.
Wow.
I'm just trying to keep it real because, Thomas, I know I said this before, but I'm far from perfect. Mm-hmm. See, I couldn't even say perfect. I said perfect. But I try. I give it 100 every time. Not so much try to be perfect, but when it comes to the things of God, I try. I give it my best. I don't do it halfway. I don't do it sometimes. I give it my best. So if there are mistakes made, if I'm not always on the up and up, it's not for lack of trying.
Right.
It's not for lack of giving God my everything and my all. And those things that I fall short on, he helps me. Mm-hmm. I learn from those errors and he builds me up. And I thank him for that. But I just think that there are some people who just really don't care.
Yeah. And that's what,
this is my life. I'm going to do whatever I'm sorry. Last time I checked, he created me. Mm-hmm. And the purpose of my creation was to
serve him.
Yeah. Okay, so you go ahead with your bad self and this your life. Have fun with that. You work that out.
And babe, just to add to what you just said, we all are striving. And long as we continue to keep striving,
That's right.
And just continue to treat each other like we want to be treated.
Mm-hmm.
Again, just bring the respect level back to the house of God, and to the men and women of God, from the pulpit to the door. It's just like that song our friend wrote. We should be doing what we're doing because we just want to see God's face. We just, the Bible says no one has seen his face and lived, but we should strive to see his face, even though we're not going to. But just strive,
Oh,
just strive,
oh, if I
just
can
strive.
remember the lyrics, I
Um,
just I want
he's
to.
going to be on our show soon, so
Okay, okay, I
he's
won't
going to
say
be on
it.
our show soon.
Oh, I'm just
Face to
saying,
face.
face to face. Oh
Yes.
my
I
gosh, let
just,
me
I
tell
just, I
you,
just want to strive to see it.
it's on iTunes.
But he's going to be on our show
I
soon. But
can't, I can't shout him out. We talking about his
go ahead, babe. Go
song.
ahead and shout him
No,
out
I
because we're gonna
won't.
wrap the show up. Go ahead
I
and shout
won't
him out.
shout him out because Thomas, he didn't sound like very. I should.
It's not. See, now you're making me look like a hater.
No, I wish I
I'm
was.
not
I wish
hating.
y'all can see him. No, I'm not saying you're hating, but we talking about his song. But it is beautiful. Okay, so we won't talk about it. But it's a good. It's so good. All right. Anyway,
But this is what has been in our mind. Is the church being taken seriously or being mocked? If you enjoyed this segment of In Session with Thomas and
episode two.
Tara, again, like, share, or comment, and or you can reach us or email us.
Yep, absolutely. At subersonicu@yahoo.com, or you can message us. You message us, we get it the same way on our Facebook page, Supersonic U on Facebook. Haven't set up the Instagram yet, but I will. Haven't done Twitter yet, but that's coming. Uh,
Let me stop.
okay, y'all. All right. So thank you again for listening. And you know what? Being that we were talking about leaders and and the reverence that we should have for them, this is the month of October, which is
It
considered,
sure is,
what is
Tara.
it considered?
It's Pastors
Pastors
Appreciation
Appreciation
Month.
Month.
Yes.
We know there's a lot of you out there that are serving, and because Thomas and I are both um, sons and daughters of pastors and leaders, and we've worked very closely in leadership wherever we've served in ministry. We understand the struggles that you have. We've seen it with our very own eyes. And I just want to be that voice that says to you, be encouraged, pastors. Keep doing it. Keep following God. Keep keep writing the vision. Keep making it. Keep following Him. Continue to let Him order your steps. Everything that you do, He sees you, and your reward lies in Him. Just keep pushing. Just keep pushing. Just keep pushing, because we do know it gets hard sometimes. So we see you out there, and we're going to have some of you come in with us and share, about your ministries and what you're doing. We're going to reach out to you. Matter of fact, this week I'll be reaching out to quite a few people and getting you in the studio to record with us, and so you can share, because some people need to hear, because a lot of people, I look at those people who say, I want to strive, I want to be there. And I
Mm-hmm.
just shake my head like, Lord, please don't call me. 'Cause you see so much of it's not being in the limelight. Come on now.
I don't know.
They look at, all right. I'm just saying. So be encouraged, pastors. And we love you guys. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you again.
And stay tuned next week for another edition of In Session with Thomas and Tara Suber.